but I think we're live now.
We figured it out.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
We're special ed somehow.
You know what's interesting? I think it's the curse of Warren Davis.
I mean, the first call.
Well, his was pretty bad, but Brian Collins was pretty bad too. Remember that? He actually didn't wake up in time.
Right. I was like, that was the sleeping one.
That was the one where he's totally not there. Yeah, that was crazy.
Nice.
So how are things looking in the chat? We got anybody there? Because
I don't know. I was so busy like freaking out over.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I normally, so hey, thank you, chatters, for patiently waiting. It's good to have you in the chat tonight.
It is good.
Yeah, cool. Dude, this is crazy.
You know,
I just met you.
Our latency is really short today. I think I like that.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's about a 5-second delay. I don't know if something
Nice.
happened. Like, did they make things better somehow?
Yeah, one could only hope. I'm also like having a record low on my internet speed in this on this computer. So.
Oh. Well, I climbed into my attic and plugged into the the modem, the router that I have hidden up there.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't remember why I put it up there this winter, but it's because they were gonna. I hired painters to paint my fireplace, and that's where all my stuff is. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move it into the attic where it'll be closer to the source, like in Contact, the movie.
Sure.
And and I've left it up there, and so
it's good. We should probably hit up the normal resources for hey, we're online.
We are, yes. I'll remind everybody on the internet. We'll talk to the clobbers.
You know what's funny? I didn't mention this, but I've got a few things tonight that I want to talk about. But maybe we should hit the button and just get going. I don't know.
Yeah, we could shoot the stuff.
I mean, it's already 7:23, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've only got 2 minutes left of
banter.
I
mean, the show really starts at 7:30. Let's just be honest.
Okay, fine.
But I don't know, 7:25. I don't know. Who knows when the show starts?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows. And I can't really tell like how many viewers we have. Oh, it says we have 7. That's good.
Oh, we'll fix that.
Yeah. All right. So I'll just give it another minute. It's interesting, this Skype graphic, and I moved Brian's screwy graphic out of the way. So let's see if that doesn't actually move that. Yeah. Yeah.
Twitch.com/RcadeRadio. Come on. I need to talk to whoever runs the KLOV forums, because they must have like certain domains that they work, but if you type it in another way, it's like you're not allowed to do that. I'm like, shut up! I am allowed. Have you updated your VAPs recently? Okay, I did it. Yeah. This is great. We're doing awesome. 2023, off to a great start.
There we go. I got. You could do some cool stuff with them. Are you looking at what I'm doing right now?
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh.
Hey guys, half the show is written by ChatGPT. Just get ready.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's not a joke.
No.
Tonight the show is brought to you by ChatGPT. If you don't know what that is, you should check it out, because it's going to be totally. Those aren't crickets. That's actually the sound of my old joints cracking. That's hilarious. I love that. Welcome aboard. Good. It's good to see you guys. Andy, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. 2 FedEx, that's good. We should have said a poem. It would be much more interesting. Like right now, my dog is crying. Mark, can you do a little poetry for these guys while I go let my dog outside?
Okay, a little poetry.
Yeah.
About arcade games. Let's see. Pong. First commercially successful video game technology. Pong arcade video game made by Atari. Loved by millions instantly. Started an $80 billion industry. Pong. No ping. Just Pong. Simplistic graphics still astound. Mesmerized by the sound. Blip, blip, pong, blip, blip, pong, blip, pong, blip, pong. Ha ha! Point made in the shade, first to 11 in Pong heaven. Blip, blip, pong, blip, blip, pong, blip, pong, blip, pong. Somebody actually wrote these words, folks. A social lubricant it became, relationship formed. Playing the game, rocking to our favorite songs, staying awake all night long. Taking turns playing Pong. Pong, no ping, just Pong. Man, this is written by a very lonely network engineer. I don't know what to say. Man, that was pretty terrible. Adam, don't tell Adam what I did.
That's okay. I'm back. So
I have one more poem.
Okay.
A happy song filled the room. People are enjoying different games. They say happiness is contagious, but the loneliness is eating me. That even breathing is painful because every corner of this room is filled with our memories. We're together in love. Okay, this poem sucks.
Are you ChatGPTing?
What? No. I should have told it to rhyme. It was giving me like the Alanis Morissette version of a poem, so I'm like, no.
All right, I'm gonna do a quick one myself. This is in the arcade. There's a great display of games that light up in every way with flashing lights. They do sing joyful tunes. They take wing and bring excitement to the arcade play.
Nice.
Did I win?
You were better than the last thing I read. So.
Okay, let's hit a button. We got stuff to do.
Okay, good. You did it.
Live from KOYR Studios.
This is Todd Rogers, the king of video games, and you're listening to Arcade Radio.
What's new?
Did you know that Chuck E. Cheese was born inside Atari?
Music. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's new? God, I'm sick of that question.
No matter what I say, it draws controversy.
Get down.
Videomania has flipped the universe. So what's the score?
Roger, 0J, and I feel fine.
Is there anybody actually going to listen to this?
No.
That's my favorite line in the whole intro. Thanks for listening in from the Arcadosphere. This is season 7, episode 5 of the Arcade Radio podcast. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, this is the last season of the show, so get used to it. Today is Thursday, February 9th. What does that mean? Is that too mean?
No, I mean, unless
so
you change your mind at the second to last episode, then it's okay.
Today is Thursday, February 9th, 2023, and the time is now approximately 7:20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. The time is the time. So I'm your host, Adam Goldberg. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark, 1980-something Shields, and Brian Armitage will be absent from the show tonight. So we have this lovely picture of him up in memoriam. You know.
Goodbye, Brian.
It's been real.
Yes, real pain in the ass. So. Wow.
Okay, so anyhow, get ready, gamers, because we have a truly epic show lined up for you today in Arcade Radio. We have the honor of hosting the one and only Warren Davis, the legendary game designer behind the iconic classic arcade game Q*bert. But wait, there's more. Warren is also a talented actor and has been involved in numerous other projects in the entertainment industry. He's here to share his insights, experiences, and stories with us, and we couldn't be more excited, so buckle up, grab your power pellets, and get ready for an unforgettable episode that's sure to take you on a wild ride through the world of video games, acting, and beyond. Let's do this! Arcade Radio! And by the way, that intro was brought to you by GPT Chat.
All right.
No joke.
That's right. Our slave content producer, GPT Chat. Wait, that's not right. I can't use that word anymore.
Which one?
GPT. I don't know.
Did you say slave?
Yeah. You know, what's funny. I was just working on my DeLorean, and the secondary, slave cylinder is bad on the DeLorean.
Weird.
The whole concept of, hey, I'm going to push down on a pedal, and you know what? No wire. We want liquid to do this.
Okay.
Why? Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
And so, yeah, lots of room for error, obviously. And so my 41-year-old DeLorean sprung a leak in the slave cylinder, and it spews out its .4 fluid. And again, another.
Oh my God. This
is
not a good. You might well. So that's what you've been working on?
Oh, I'm not even going to mention.
That's part of it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, it is part of it. But
okay.
Tell you what I've been working on.
Yeah.
I've been acquiring New Wave Toys games. I feel like.
Oh my God.
I missed the boat. Yeah, I missed the boat on some, so I got an Asteroids and a Tempest.
Nice.
Got somebody on Clove, I guess, whose wife left him or something. I don't know what the story.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I got the 1942 Lowboy, which I thought was ugly, but I'm like, you know what? I want that.
Excellent.
And then a couple other games that we'll unbox later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a dog barking, so I'm going to do my stuff quick.
Okay.
I don't know how this is going to work. Do you have more stuff you're working on?
I'm also I'm working on my New Year's resolutions where I'm going to empty my storage unit. Yeah. And I would like new windows for my house. They're all still single pane.
Okay, so tell us about the panes of your storage unit. Give us a little background on that.
So I have 4 storage units, and where did Adam go? I have 4 storage units. 2 of them are air conditioned, and my nice games are in there. And then one of them only has a van and a Trans Am in it. I guess only things that rhyme with am are in there. And so they both won't start. So it's been a matter of like, am I going to have to get a tow truck and take these someplace to get them to start? And yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. And it's been a year. So they've been in there for a year. It's like $470 a month. And that's all. I'm like, what am I doing? So we're going to do that. We are going to take stool samples. Metropolis, I'm not sure where that fit. I did not buy the stools that New Wave was selling. And did you know some of those have already sold out?
Oh, yeah. I think at $15, they're a great deal. They're little stainless steel replicas of bar stools that are really kind of cool. And if you have any 1/6 scale figures, and I thought for sure they were going to get you with the clickbait, Mart, because there was a little 1/6 Marty McFly sitting in front of one of the arcade games.
Oh, they've been selling that Marty McFly in a while. I mean, anything that's a 1/6 scale.
No, but I'm just saying that he was sitting in front of an actual New Wave Toys on one of those stools.
I love that. They use that guy a lot.
Yeah. And they used Chewbacca last time. And the funny thing is, I have a 1/6 scale Han Solo from 1978.
Oh, really? 1/6 scale? Oh, yeah. I didn't know those were 1/6. That's interesting.
And he's standing right next to my arcade games in my little New Wave Toys things. By the way, I'm also on a New Wave Toys binge. I have received 2 today. Well, in the last couple of days, actually. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, right, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I got a mail call from a special someone.
Oh, how special.
It's also a box opening special. And a couple of new console things to discuss on tonight's show. I know there's some console gamers out there, and these are pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, at least one. I mean, console gamer, right?
Also, Brian stopped by last week at my house, at my arcade.
He did?
Yeah, he played my Buck Rogers pinball, and he killed it. He almost beat my high score. I was like, okay, get out of the house.
What do you think about friends that beat your high score and then like fill up the high score table and then your name's not on it?
I don't know. I think that's great. And then I reset the score table and start over.
Oh, man.
I know that's not true. I actually have a couple games where I don't have the high score, and I'm fine with it.
Okay.
It gives me something to work towards. Huh?
Right.
Oh, also, this weekend is going to be a big cleanup weekend for me. Additionally, my New Year's resolution is to get rid of that storage unit as well. I have a 10x20 that's filled with, Star Trek, the cockpit, Monaco GP cockpit, which I think I might sell. It works. I'm looking for about $2,000. So if you're interested, send an email to Adam at, RcadeRadio.com. Also, I have a cartoon booth, Kiddyrama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those. I have a console stereo, which I think I'm just going to put out and let somebody take.
Oh, no.
Because it needs tubes or transformers or something. It's not going to... It's going to be
what's funny is that I just recently started watching YouTube channels of old guys that restore old color or old black and white TVs or old radios that have tubes. Have you ever done that?
I've watched a few of those videos.
Shango is my guy.
I have no interest in doing it myself.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
He's a little inappropriate, but you know what? So is pretty much everybody on there. So
so is everybody on this show.
Yeah. Oops. Yes.
Oh. By the way, are you watching the Skype channel? Because I can't see if Warren joins back in.
I am. I see him.
Okay. He's there right now?
No. I mean, he's offline. So he's muted. No video.
Well, let me know because I got to move this smiling picture of Brian out of the way when it's time.
You got it.
Okay. So anyway, I have to clean up Adam's Arcade. This weekend I have a lot of work to do because it's going to be the first time I've had a guest who's not in my regular circle of friends, right? So since COVID... I haven't had any parties, which sucks, because I usually have these big annual Adam's Arcade parties. And this is going to be the first outside of the normal friend circle guest to visit my arcade since before COVID. And he actually used to work for a company. I don't need to say the name of the company, but they commissioned my home arcade as a venue, and they paid for all the booze. They paid for all the food, and we brought all the engineers and everybody to my house to play arcade games for the night. And so that was pretty cool. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that.
Huh.
And then they're all like, you have to open it. You have to do, you should do this as a business. And maybe I will. I don't know.
Really? Maybe at your basement, yeah. I mean,
but not on my basement. I would rent a space, and then I would do like corporate events, and I'd make it cool. The cool thing about my basement is it feels very intimate, right? You get down there, all these games have been curated, everything works, and so to replicate that experience in an arcade is difficult. I think Starcade, Brian's arcade, has done a good job of keeping all the games running and making it functional and fun for people to visit. So if you haven't been to Starcade at Rosedale, Minnesota, you need to go. 300 classic arcade pinball. Really, really fun place to visit. You can get pizza, beer, whatever. That's my plug for his arcade. But anyway, yeah, I think I could do something like that. I don't know what I would charge because just running the electricity for the night, you got to be, I don't know.
How do you do that? Right, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been working on. What do you say we forgo the news right now and maybe the gadgets because Brian's not here. We do a box opening.
Okay. I have to find my box.
Okay. Well, I'll start. So let's do this. Let's do this box opening, bumper thing that I did. All right. Here we go.
Run away.
That's right. Welcome to What's in the Box.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with What's in the Box, right?
It's a box within a box within a box, literally.
Right. So the first thing I'm going to open is actually something that just arrived literally minutes before the show started. Okay, so this is a small box. It's Amazon. And I'm going to describe it for the people that are listening to the show because maybe you aren't watching very carefully. We're opening this box right now. Listen to that. Crack that box open.
Crack.
Okay. Yeah. So, get rid of the packing.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head is inside, apparently.
That's right. All right, let's zoom in on me. Okay, so zooming in. Yeah, zoom in on me, man. Okay, so the first thing we're unboxing today, again, my name is Adam Lastanema here, is this wonderful little controller. It is made for the Nintendo Switch. By Power A. So the cool thing is it looks just like a GameCube controller.
Nice.
Now, this was announced a couple weeks ago, and they've already sold out pretty much everywhere. You got to check it out. But they actually are making in multiple colors to match the different GameCubes, and then some other fancy color schemes for sort of a custom thing. The cool thing is it's sort of a hybrid controller. So have you heard about Metroid Prime, Mark?
No.
Okay, so Metroid Prime was one of the more popular titles for the GameCube. But a lot of Metroid users didn't like it because it was first-person shooter type of thing, right? And, it was also a puzzle game. But some of them really got into it. And one of the biggest complaints about the game was its control scheme. Well, today, Nintendo announced, as I'm unboxing this,
yes,
that they're releasing a Metroid Prime remastered on the store. And February 23rd, the physical copy comes out. But essentially, it is... okay. Just broke that. So essentially, it is a remastering of the original game, but they've gone through and not just remastered it, they've redone the control scheme. Because one of the biggest complaints about the game was how to play the game with the GameCube controller. So now they've properly made the analog sticks more intuitive, which I think is great. How do you get this thing out of the freaking box?
I don't know. We didn't rehearse this. So.
I know. Okay. Oh, there's batteries. That's good. And they're Energizer. My favorite battery. No, they're Duracell. My favorite batteries are Duracell batteries.
Never leaks.
Oh, they're so
in
awesome.
a pinball machine.
Really? Oh, I do agree. Duracells leak less. What? Who would design this packaging? Okay. Here we go. All right. So here is the Indigo Power A. Look at that thing. Isn't that a thing of beauty?
It's gorgeous.
Now, the wonderful thing is it's wireless, so it's like the old Wavebirds. But this analog stick feels exactly like the original. The button layout's exactly like the original, except for you've got a couple extra buttons. So just instead of just the one shoulder button, you've got a couple now.
Right.
I think
do those answer your door or something? Or what?
No, but the great thing is it's compatible with modern games. So if you want to play anything on this thing, I think it feels really nice. Before the Xbox controller, this was the perfect controller. No joke. Nintendo invented this. It is really, really great. It feels great. I'm super excited to use this on my Switch. So if you haven't got one of these, go and get one. They're about $60. It's really cool. Okay, and I have one more before Mark starts his unboxing.
I think we should dual unbox on the next one.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So this is a mail call from a very special friend.
Oh.
Now, she hasn't been on the show. She's a little shy.
Cat Spira. Wait, no.
No, she's been on the show.
Okay.
She's not shy.
She's not shy. Okay.
Catherine Despira is anything but shy. Let's be frank.
I was being sarcasm.
Yes, right. She is a self-proclaimed bitch. So we'll leave that at that. So Van Burnham sent me a gift.
What?
Yeah. It's right here.
What is it?
All right, let's just take a look.
Hurry up!
Oh my God! Is the anticipation killing the chat?
No.
Tell me what's going on in the chat.
We have one person left in the chat.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not. I mean, yes, I am shitting you. Wait. Yes.
What the hell is happening here, Mark? Are you being mean to me now?
There's 13 people.
Why are we even doing this show? I don't even know. Okay. So
I'm winging
she
it.
sent me a pizza. Okay, let's take a peek.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like a pizza. All right. Oh, well, what's this? Oh, look at this. Just fell out of here. Oh, it's a little question mark pin. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Very Nintendo-y.
Yeah, very Nintendo-y. Okay. Oh, there's a card. I see a card. Let me get this. Oh, it looks like one of those stereograms from the 90s. Check this out.
Oh, it's a penis. Wait.
Yep. Let me look at this. It says shop.supercade.com. It's handwritten because Van loves me, by the way.
Dang it, she doesn't love me.
No, she does not.
We're in a rivalry for our Hellfire artwork, and I will admit hers is better.
Really? Well, let me read this card to you. It says,
Okay.
Dearest Adam. It does, right there. It says, Dearest Adam.
Crazy.
Thank you so much for supporting this project. Grateful for your friendship and faith. Hugs and hearts, Van. See, she loves me. This is proof that Van loves Arcade Radio right here.
And she hasn't been on the show.
And she hasn't even been on the show.
Right.
I mean, like, right now, this is a stereogram of Arcade Radio. You can't even see it. But if you cross your eyes and look at it hard enough,
cross my eyes.
You will see the Arcade Radio logo.
I don't see it.
Oh, look at this. I got a little question mark sticker, too.
Crazy.
Okay, what else is in here? Because I know it's important. Oh, there's some beautiful paper it's wrapped in. Okay.
Everybody's like, it's a picture of Brian.
Oh, yeah. It's a picture of Brian. Oh, let's throw that box over there. Oh, yeah. Look at this. There's like a little skull sticker.
Okay, digital skull, right? Yeah. So there's some poison in there.
I'm going to try not to rip that because I'm going to use that on my computer. There you go. And for the people listening to this podcast right now, like, I'm really sorry that this is so boring because you're not watching the exciting unboxing of what is the second volume of Supercade, a visual history of the video game age from 1985 to 2001, written by Van Burnham. Beautiful pictures inside. There you go. Check that out, you guys. That's upside down.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
I don't know if you bought the first Supercade, but this is along those lines. It's a super heavy book filled with awesome arcade pictures and stories and the history of video gaming from the latter half of the 80s decade into the 90s. So very, very fun. Those are the two. Now, Mark, we've got a dual unboxing.
Shall we race?
Well, should we talk about what we're going to unbox?
Okay, so I ordered what I bought like a year ago, it seems.
We ordered them at the same time.
It was quite a while back, though.
Yeah. So
I think this one, not so much. It's funny, yours further back. Mine, maybe 6 months back.
Well, okay, so no, for sure. We ordered both of these things at the same time. You also received this week a Dragon's Lair.
Right? I did, but
also you received a food fight.
Correct.
Now, here is the Dragon's Lair box, right?
Yeah.
This is what I got in the mail. They both came this week because of shipping issues. Now, one of the cool things about Mark's right now, let me switch to Mark, because Mark, did you notice the amount of yellow tape on your box?
What? Yeah. What was up with that?
Okay, so that yellow tape was used as an authentic tape for the M90 jukebox replication they did. So they replicated the M90 by JVC, and the shipping containers that they used to originally ship in, I shit you not, came with yellow tape on them. So they replicated the tape to put on the shipping container box that the M90 jukebox that they replicated comes in. So they must have had a whole bunch of extra of that stuff, because mine came wrapped in yellow tape as well.
I thought this was the one where they were looking inside to see if there were drugs.
Nope. So I think they pack them in a separate box. Okay, so we'll go back to the two of us. I've got my Dragon's Lair. Mark is unboxing his. Okay, Mark, give us the play-by-play on the food fight while I undo this.
This is the internal box. I assume this is what the Atari arcade games look like on the outside.
Yep.
This is cool.
So
this is Lair 2. We're getting in here. Lair 3. Lair 3. Here we go. Oh, okay, hold on. It's coming.
One of the things they do is they put like a piece of cardboard, so if you cut into it, you don't cut the shipping container.
Is that what that's for? I thought it was for extra. Oh, that makes sense.
So that's awesome. Mark, check it out. What do you got there?
Well, I got my food fight. I believe this is the one with the yellow T-molding.
I'm going to zoom in on you because there's some cool stuff happening here.
Which T-molding for your Dragon's Lair did you get? I think there were a couple options.
I just wanted regular old black.
Right. Okay.
So, show us what's inside your box.
Okay, so let's. What? All right. So obviously, there's a food fight, and it has that kind of lenticular.
Yeah, they put the faux CRT lens on.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, they did that for Missile Command too.
Yeah, I think it's very effective because it also looks like scan line, as far as
that's good.
That goes. It's pretty beautiful.
Oh, it's booting up.
Lighting up.
Oh, look at that! You can see the New Wave Toys logo. Yep.
Yes,
Replicade. It's a Replicade.
Yep.
Now this is running some form of MAME, I'm sure, underneath the hood. But look at that coin door. It's an actual Atari coin door.
Oh, look, it booted.
And that joystick is legit.
It also comes with a banana joystick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can put I remember that's like a limited edition thing.
Yes.
So we both got these. I think I got mine with yellow T-molding as well.
So, yeah, here's the extra stuff.
Yep. And now the cool thing about the manual on all these is that they replicate the original manual. So the operations manual looks just like the original Atari manual. And if you don't have one for your Atari arcade game, you probably can use that.
So there's the extra banana. They come with extra feet. Most games have been doing that where they come with extra feet. And I think, is this gum?
Oh, it might be gum. Oh my
I
gosh.
think this
Did it originally come with gum?
It's like 3 little hold on, where's my camera? 3 little wads of what look like gum that you can just.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
That's insane.
I want to chew it.
And then of course there's a little bag of coins that you always
because you always get like 4 tokens or 5 tokens. All right, so here's the deal.
Okay.
For some reason they just, and we're running over here. Warren's just gonna have to stick through back to the Cade, but because we can't skip back to the Cade, it'll crush our viewership.
Okay.
But okay, here's the deal. They so they did a Kickstarter for Dragon's Lair, and I talked about Dragon's Lair recently because my girlfriend's daughter recently attended Don Bluth university and graduated, and she finally got to go down and meet him. And then she got COVID, so she had to leave the last day of class. But anyway, I'm going to switch from Mark over to the Adam now.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so here we have the Cinematronics, the second run of Dragon's Lair. And they've made some improvements. I bought the original with Kickstarter. Now, I hope this isn't boring people on our channel, because it's... Okay, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Oh, yeah. Let me pull this. Oh. All right. I've got a bit of a mic problem in the way. Okay, here we go. Oh, boy. Mark, there's so much going on here. I got cellophane everywhere. All right. That's going over there for now. All right. So, it comes in a box like this. Very pretty, right? Dragon's Lair. They've already done this once. This is their second run at it. So what they did to improve it is they decided that, well, I think people were complaining that you couldn't play. So the original allowed you to hook up controllers and play on your TV, which is pretty cool, right? And this was the first of their arcades to do that. So they had Tempest, and they had Centipede and a couple others. But this Kickstarter, they had a couple of cool reach goals. And one was to make the thing play on your LCD or flat screen TV. So they did that on the last model, on the Kickstarter model, which was really cool. So you could hook it up to your TV and whatnot. But the problem is that it didn't mirror the gameplay on the machine. So people were like, couldn't you have done that? Couldn't you have made this thing play on the TV at the same time? And people were like, so I think they asked them to, and they thought, well, maybe we should do a second run. So they did a couple things. First of all, it's running on, what do they call that thing? The Dexter, right? So this is running on a Dexter. It's out of the cellophane. Look at that. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. The packaging and everything. So they decided they were going to make a couple upgrades. First one was, let's put in a faster processor and make it so when you're playing this thing on your TV, you can actually mirror it locally on the little Replicade. How does this box open anyway? I can't figure out how to get into this box. Mark, help me.
I use brute force.
Oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, it's just great artwork. So they had to license all this from not only Digital Leisure, but from Don Bluth's company. Comes with the same set of manuals, and you see that? That's a little LaserDisc in there, because inside this thing there's a fake LaserDisc player. I'm not kidding. There's a little LaserDisc player in the back.
I think it's a real. I consider it real
It's a real fake LaserDisc player.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay. So, I want to. Oh, here's your little charge cable. Don't lose that. Okay, now here we go. This is the money shot. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
It's out.
Yep, that's what she said. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. And there we go. Fully licensed Dragon's Lair. And okay, so there's some differences here now. Now, one of the things they did is they put, the actual Cinematronics logo. Can you see that, Mark? When I put it up? I can.
So instead of it saying, what was the other one?
It used to say Replicade. Actually, I've got the other one right here. So side by side, here's the original. On the right, on the left. Okay, so this one is the original, and it says Replitronics. This one is the new one, and it's an actual Cinematronics logo on the coin door. So in addition to the upgraded processor, you now have the proper Cinematronics logo. So I'm just going to fire this thing up. Hopefully it's got some juice.
Question from the chat: did they ever make the extra monitor for this?
No, and actually, you could do that easily because now that it plays, and I'm sure that's why our fans asked for it, was you've got an HDMI out. You could put whatever little tiny fake TFT you want on top.
Yeah,
of it.
so cool.
So it's booting up right now. One of the cool things you can see about this is it has the LED scoring in the back.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon.
Yes. So that's really cool. Now, the cool thing about this is they've upgraded the TFT that's in here, and it's a much higher resolution than the original. It actually looks amazing. It's a tiny bit bigger as well, which I think is just fantastic. I'm really glad they did a redo, and it's a selling point, right? Like we're gonna do a few things. We're gonna trigger all the collectors. They're gonna all want to go out and buy this thing. I think they did a great job. So, boy,
We'll have to get Shiloh back on the show.
Yeah, we should get Shiloh back on the show. But this is a very faithful replicade of the original Cinematronics. So if you didn't get, we got to show this on the back. See that little vent? Okay, let's check this out.
Oh, yeah, that's for the LaserDisc player.
You pull that out. There's your LaserDisc player.
Oh my God.
Yep. And it's not the beige one. It's a black one.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Well, they were both accurate.
Oh, really?
Yep.
The one I just acquired at Dragon's Lair, and it seems to match like the one you have in your hand.
Yep. The original had a beige.
Interesting.
There were a couple of different LaserDisc players they used. So this is interesting. This is a different player. So if you're a collector, you got to have both. So let's open this up.
You gotta have both.
You do. They really do such a great job. And if you haven't bought Zoltar, by the way, Zoltar is right now on sale for $80, and you got to do it because they just do such a great job. Here's the other LaserDisc player, and this is not the same as the one that's in. So you can put inside that the little LaserDisc. The other one came with a remote. So
interesting. Mine. Apparently, the LV1000 has no remote.
Yeah, so let me show you the original. Yep. So I'll pull this guy. You guys, this is just insane. Why would any toy replicate something that doesn't actually work? Because it's cool and we remember it, right? Uh-oh. I just lost the remote. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is the LaserDisc from the original unit. See the detail?
Oh. Huh.
Now, it comes with a remote.
Oh yeah. I wonder which player that is.
And it has the smoke plexi, and I've already put the LaserDisc in this one.
Right.
But it's really cool. And if you look close, it's like printed. It says Dragon's Lair, just like the original. So you guys, this stuff is so cool. Can't believe they made this stuff. And to give you guys also an idea of the talent that my girlfriend's daughter, Lily, has. This is not Dragon's Lair related, but she drew this for me. It is a Skeksis bookmark that she with watercolor, and that's the Chamberlain. And Mark, what do you think of that?
I like it. That's pretty beautiful, actually.
Yeah, she's super talented.
Scan that in.
It's so cool. Anyway, so that is unboxing for today.
All right, we did
Did
it.
Warren join us? I'm gonna just make sure.
I think he's hanging out.
Okay, well, let's make sure that he. Oh, look.
I'm hanging out.
See?
Is his camera on?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, you gotta turn your camera on.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Here we go. Can you see me?
Well,
Yeah.
we can see you.
Am I there? I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
see myself.
Oh yeah,
There's a little box somewhere, but
yeah
you look good.
We got you.
I don't know what happened. Something happened. All right.
So we
I
want a
can't see
little
myself,
over.
but I can see you.
Awesome. Can you hear him okay, Mark?
Yeah, he sounds great.
Great. Well, that's good. Well, Warren, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Last time we just got done showing off our new Replicade toys from New Wave Toys. They made a bunch for you. And look, Mark, behind you, what do you have?
Well, I have my Warren Davis Special Edition Replicade, of course. Not signed, but
Quite
I'm okay.
rare.
Okay, so I want to talk to you after the show. We're going to send you these things. And would you please sign them for us, please?
What? No, I was just going to track him down at a con or something.
That's a good idea.
Honestly, that's probably the best thing to do. I don't want to take responsibility for things like that getting lost in the mail or
I'll just
getting
send you a
damaged in transit.
return shipping label, whatever. Anyway,
I wonder if I could sign a clear label and you could just stick it on the side.
there you go.
Ooh.
That'd be great. It'd be like, why don't you just
Never
print them
thought of
off
that
on
somehow.
Vistaprint and then send them to everybody?
There you go.
$10 a pop. There you go.
I love it. Oh my god.
Problem is people start pasting them on my checks. That's the problem.
Oh no, yeah.
All right, so Mark, I think okay, Warren, do you want to sit with us through this little game we do?
Sure, go right ahead.
It's super
where I
fun.
know where to be.
Mark, first of all, is the voicemail up? Because we should maybe check the voicemail first.
Everything is ready.
Oh well, let's do that. I got to make sure I'm on the right voicemail because last time I was not on the right one.
Played a 2002 voicemail. It was really weird. So-
Yeah, sometimes we get a little bit out of order. But who's checking anyway, right? And
remember, tonight's show is brought to you by ChatGPT. folks.
ChatGPT, that's right, folks.
That's right. Writes
So-
the show while we, make hang out on the deck. So
Okay, Warren, have you seen the ChatGPT stuff?
I have not.
Okay,
I've heard of
so fun fact: last week I checked it out for the first time, and I had it write a resume for a cloud platform engineer, which is what I am.
and he's hired.
And I'm hired. So very interesting. It did a great job. All I would really need to do is swap out a few things like nouns, proper nouns, and then maybe like make a few changes to which skill sets it thought I might have or not have. So very, very interesting. And then I thought, okay, a friend of mine that I work with pinged me yesterday and asked me about a technical question about a platform that I have recently taken over called SaltStack. He said, "What do you know about SaltStack?" I said, "You might be as a joke." I said, "You might be better off asking ChatGPT that question." So this is OpenAI, right? Funded by Microsoft, ChatGPT. He kind of chuckled and we started talking, and as he was talking to me in Teams, I went out on ChatGPT and I said, tell me how to utilize SaltStack, and it gave me, I'm not kidding you, 6 distinct steps on how to not only install it, but the whole overall function of it, a good summary, how to execute once you get it installed. I was blown away. And so today, I thought for the show intro, I would say, hey, write an intro for this, arcade radio related, podcast, and it did it. And then I thought, well, I said, okay, this is great, but can you omit the part about Warren Davis being the creator of Q*bert? And so it went through and redid the whole thing. And it decided to, and it said, oh, sure, I can leave that part out. And it went and rewrote the intro, leaving out the part that you wrote Q*bert, but still calling you a game developer, still calling, and then I said, okay, can we do this again with a little more fervor, but this time add details about Warren's acting career and his other projects? And it said, sure, I can make a more exciting intro with more details about Warren's. I'm not kidding you. And then we used it for the intro of the show.
Did you make it a prerequisite that anything it wrote had to be true?
Oh, it's really so vague, it doesn't really matter.
I hear that it wants everything to be true, so that makes it true. So
it's actually very.
If it finds things on Wikipedia, it's It's 50.
Oh yeah.
I was stunned, Warren, at its capability. I mean, it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating. So if you haven't tried it, you must give it a try. I think you'll find it quite entertaining, if not creepy and scary.
Yeah.
So
I've actually been enjoying recently. I've been enjoying watching videos of AI and robots.
Oh yeah.
You ever do a search for talking AI robots?
I have not done that yet.
Oh yeah, there's some really, really disturbing videos on YouTube of humanoid robots, talking, just having conversations. It's chilling. It's absolutely chilling.
Well, and it's, we are so getting close to Skynet and Terminator. I don't even know what to do.
There's a show on Twitch called Nothing Forever, which is a AI generated Seinfeld episode.
Oh, I watched that.
Continues like right now. It's
on.
generating. It's going right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It was terrible. I didn't enjoy it, but I appreciated what it was trying to do. Okay, let's check the voicemail.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is Arcade Radio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hello?
Hey everybody, this is Bob Zarzadek, control panel expert and technician. Guys, I love nothing more than heading to the arcade after a long day of work to play some video games. So, one day I decided to visit my favorite arcade, and I was super eager to beat my high score and have some fun. But you know what? As soon as I walked in, I realized that something was off, and none of the games were working. The place was filled with frustrated customers and flustered staff. Hey, and being a control panel expert, I offered to help, and you know what? I got to work. I checked each and every game's control panel, and I was trying to fix the issues, but no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't seem to get any of the games to work. I needed a break, so I decided to grab a soda from the vending machine. But to my surprise, that was also broken. Right? Crazy. Hey, so I fixed that vending machine, and again, to my amazement, as soon as I did that, all the games in the arcade came to life. Yeah, everybody was ecstatic, and the staff, they were amazed. I've become like the arcade's resident superhero, all right? All right, anyway, so I went from game to game, fixing them all with my expertise, and the customers, they were like cheering me on. But as soon as I fixed that last game, I made a mistake, and I hit the wrong button, and all the games shut down again. So, I was very sheepish, I was explaining that even the best control panel expert can make a mistake. But the customers, they cheered me on anyway, thanked me for my help. You know what, guys? From that day on, I was known as the Arcadian Avenger, and was always greeted with cheers whenever I entered the arcade. Yeah, that's my secret life story I thought I'd share with you guys. Maybe something I'll share next week. I don't know. Maybe, my bathroom cleaning technique. I'm not sure. Anyway, hey, Zarzadek out.
But it sure sounded like he was reading it though.
Yes, it's almost like ChatGPT wrote his voicemail somehow.
Very odd.
Is that somebody you know, by the way?
Oh, Bob,
kind of.
He calls in every week.
He does, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
Is that? Was it possible that's George W. Bush pretending to be somebody else?
I think he's from Texas for sure.
Oh, that.
They might be related. We should ask.
All right, Warren, we're going to do a segment called Back to the Cade. Bear with us as we get our chatters involved for a little warm-up with someone who's not Bob Zarsdick. There you go.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Back to the Cade with
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Hey everybody, welcome to Back to the Cade, where we do two things. First, we talk about something that has to do with Back to the Future that just recently happened. So, Huey Lewis, he was recently interviewed, and he said that it's actually the demo version of Power of Love that Marty McFly shreds at the at the Battle of the Bands tryouts.
Oh.
Yeah, so the track that you actually get to hear was written for Bob Zemeckis. Never actually used the final in the final version of the film. You hear the final version of the song, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's the stuff of music legend technically. He also revealed that in a recent interview that not everything that you see was as it seems. It seems like the track. You hear his song, his demo, but then Michael J. Fox is actually playing a shred, like a solo on top of it.
So that's Michael J. Fox for real.
Yes, it is, and he has like the blonde guy he's actually playing next to is his like guitar coach.
Oh, cool.
So and they were like, "Hey, you can be on here too. You look like you belong in high school." And the guy's like, "I'm 42," and they're like, "No, don't worry about it. You're fine."
That's awesome.
So that's the new Back to the Future news for 2023.
Oh my gosh! That's
and then
crazy.
the second part of this segment is where we ask Adam, what's in the juke? Hello, this is the Season 7 edition of What's in the Juke. It's the game within a game within a podcast.
7 seasons, the hell you say.
Today, we feature super short, isolated audio tracks, a cappella, from 1981. If you can guess the title of the song, you will get...
half point.
If you can guess the name of the group...
half point.
That's correct. If you can guess both the name of the group and the title... There you go. I will be your scorekeeper since Brian's not here.
Oh
if you
my
do
gosh.
Not... Yeah, if you don't get
should we
either
make
one of
Warren
these...
be the scorekeeper?
He could, but he doesn't have access to the sheet, so...
Oh, yeah, and he can't see anybody in the chat, so that's probably not good.
Yeah, I want to play.
Yeah, well, you can, actually.
You can play.
So.
We will let you play.
Yeah, we will let you play.
Here's
you
the
have
deal.
a 5-second advantage.
Right, so Warren, when you answer, count to 3, and then answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 10 songs from 1981, the title and the artist. Do the best you can.
Oh, or else they're gonna have to fight it out, right?
Fight it out if you don't know. Now that the fighting is over, let's
begin.
Oh, look at that!
Good old karate champ.
Wait a minute. You know what's funny?
A good joke.
It is. Do you have a good joke? Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I do, but I can't. Wait. Why did the chicken cross the playground?
To get to the other side. I don't know.
To get to the other slide.
Oh, that is not a good joke.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
That was a
what? That's all I have. That's all I have.
That was a huge stinker. I mean,
that was bad. Yeah.
Okay, Warren. Do you have a good joke?
I have a worse joke.
Okay.
What's green and sings?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't know.
I don't know.
Elvis Parsley.
Oh my gosh! Did you read that on the side of a milk carton?
Wow.
Well, that was, I believe, honestly, I believe that was on a Dixie cup back, like, 30, 40 years ago. They used to print jokes on Dixie cups, and I believe that was one of them.
I vaguely remember. Well, we had jokes on some of our school milk cartons. Okay, so
like, have you seen this child?
Yeah, exactly. Not a joke. Okay, here comes your first track.
Her hair is hollow gold.
All right, chatters. I'll play it one more time.
Her hair is hollow gold.
You gotta get them warmed up, right?
I got that one.
Okay. I'm gonna give you. Go ahead. Oh, too late. The chat got it. You're right, Mark.
Betty Davis eyes. Well, I can't read the chat. I don't see the chat. So.
That's okay. You have a slight advantage, but Mark is right. Today's the latency is just totally low.
It is insane.
Okay.
So Grinwing got Kim Carnes and Metropolis got Betty Davis eyes.
All right, we're gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got Kim Carnes. That I couldn't remember. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. No holds barred. Here we go. There was a half point for those fellows, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here comes your next track.
There's only you in my life.
Oh my God. I love this song. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, I know this one, but I can't.
There was Go ahead.
We have a second sample in case you want to play that too.
Okay, here comes the other sample.
Your every breath that I take.
Okay. It's already in the chat. Metropolis.
Yeah, I don't have that. I know the song. I can hear it in my head, but I have no idea.
Metropolis was just behind Andy, who got it first. Lionel Richie, and followed by Mr. Peabody with "Endless Love." So each of those guys give,
of course,
a half point.
Half point.
Now here's the thing.
I'm disgusted with myself.
Do you guys remember putting on the hits?
Oh no, I don't. Is that a show on ABC?
It was a show, and it was a karaoke show. Well, it wasn't even karaoke. It was a lip syncing contest. It was called Putting on the Hits. And so these people come on and they would lip sync to Lionel Richie or whatever. And there was this guy that came on as a solo act, and he lip synced Endless Love as both Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. And to do that, he put makeup on one side that was Lionel Richie, and the other side.
No way.
Yeah, and he had a half wig on the other side. And so he would sing the Lionel Richie part, and then he would swivel around, and he would be Diana Ross.
Awesome.
Yeah. And to answer Mr. Peabody's question, it's a single on both of their albums, and I believe Lionel Richie wrote it. Right. So I love it. I just jogged Andy's memory. He's like, I remember that. Yes, it's totally the coolest thing. If you could find it, it's super hard to find on the inner tubes, but check it out. Okay, here comes your next track.
Fire away!
Warren?
Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shot.
Oh my gosh! That's a full point for our esteemed guest.
Full point.
That's right, you guys. You just got smacked.
Shot into first place.
Shot into first place with one track.
Yeah.
It's totally a disadvantage because he's like totally in studio getting the live thing. Okay. All right, here comes your next track.
Yeah, he's holding her in his arms late at night.
Jesse's Girl.
Jesse's Girl's correct. That's a half point for our guest.
Rick Springfield? Is that Rick Springfield?
It is Rick Springfield. And a flurry of Jesse's Girl came in right after. Coleco, Andy, Metropolis. You guys are all getting it. Mr. Peabody was a close second on Rick Springfield. Why don't we get a half point to Mr. Peabody and Warren for that one?
Half point.
Done.
All right, cool. That was awesome. All right, your next track.
You should have seen by the look in my eyes, baby. There was something missing.
Yeah, we can't play the music, but apparently the voice, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Warren, you got
I'm
this
loving
one?
You.
Oh, he did get the song. I heard "Keep on Loving You."
Yes. Grinwing got REO Speedwagon, and Warren got "Keep on Loving You."
Nice.
Nice.
Half point.
Find it out.
That's right. You guys are doing a great job. All right, here comes your next track.
My friend, wonder why I call you all the time. What can I say?
Oh, I love that song. I love this band. I saw them live. They're
Me too.
Yeah.
Who opened for them?
Tears for Fears.
Lucky.
And they were
I
better.
heard the song, but I don't have it.
It's Hall & Oates, Kisses on My List, and Metropolis was first with Hall & Oates. Mr. Peabody followed it up with Kisses on My List. And that is correct. You guys both get
a little bit of
point.
trivia. A little bit
Yes.
of trivia. Back in the day when I was actually playing with a band, played keyboards. That was one of our songs of our repertoire. I mean, we only did cover songs, and we never performed in public.
Aw.
But that was one of our songs.
Did anybody in your band think we should only do originals?
No.
Oh, see, that's
You know
awesome.
what? I take that back. I think the guitar player did compose songs as well, but our goal was to get good enough to just play covers at some bar, and we broke up before that happened.
Oh man,
that's cool.
All right.
I love
So if
it.
I start a band, and will you join as a keyboard player?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it.
My friend, wonder why I call you all the time. What can I say?
Oh my God, that's so great. Okay, here comes your next track.
That's what I'll have to do to keep me away from you.
Oh my gosh.
Queen of Hearts, Juice Newton.
Dang, yes.
Bam! Oh, he was on top of that.
Full point.
The guest just knocked whoever was out of first place, I'm sure.
Well, we can increase the points.
Just don't count my score.
No.
I'm just playing for fun.
Yep, so we got Queen of Hearts from Andy. He gets a half point. And let's give Metropolis Juice Newton as well.
Done.
Sweet. Okay. Next track.
Toe to toe, dancing very close.
That's angelic. That is really cool. I want to use that sample in one of my songs.
That's Blondie. What's the name of the song? The one with the rap in it. I can't remember the name of the song.
Rapture.
Oh, you're so close.
Rapture.
Yeah.
Right. Duh.
So Metropolis got Blondie, so give him the half point there. And Grinwing was following that up with another half point.
Half point.
Nice job, guys. All right. All right. Here comes your next. Boy, that just kills me. Okay, let's do this again. Your next track.
And I've lost my life.
Well, that's a good one.
Tainted Love.
Yes.
The Eurythmics.
Not Eurythmics, but yes, you're right on the song. And
It's not the Eurythmics?
Nope. Here comes the chat. Soft Cell is the name of the band. Mr. Peabody got it. And Tainted Love followed closely by Metropolis. So,
half point
for both of those fellas. Nice work, fellas. Oh, and let's just do. I want to do a little shout out to the chatters right now. We got 01 Ella in the chat, 2102 Cooper, Alistra, Andy SAE0, who hasn't been in the chat for a long time. Welcome back, Billy7. Good to see you in the chat. Kaliko 1981, always a pleasure. Commander Root, I love it. Drapsnat, Grinwing 20, Ice Cold Joe 42. He's been a long time listener. He's here tonight for you, Warren. I know it because I told him you're going to be on the show. Also, Kata, Mike Page 1, Mr. Peabody 1984, Metropolis, Shanuala, and Two Fat Tax. Welcome to the show. Okay, here comes our next track. This is the last one.
Last
Mark,
one.
Where are we at with the score?
Well, Warren is honorarily in first place with 4.5 points. Nitropolis in second, 2.5. Grinwing in third, 1.5. Oh, wait, actually, Mr. Peabody's in third with 2. Grinwing in fourth with 1.5. And Andy's in fifth with 1.
Nice.
This is the first time nobody's tied.
Okay, here we go. Here's your last track. It's going to be a quick one.
You're not shy. You get around.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That's a tough one.
Ugh.
I love it.
I know it. I know this. I'm listening to the song in my head. I know the whole song.
Yeah. I'll play it again.
You're not shy. You get around.
I'm saying Foreigner.
Yes.
It's correct.
The song.
Half point.
Hot Blooded.
Oh, not Hot Blooded, but it was close.
All their songs sound the same.
Yeah, it's true. That was Urgent by Foreigner. Coleco 1981 actually managed to get the title first, and Nitropolis got the band's name. And so what we ended up with as far as our chatters, Nitropolis came in first. Mr. Peabody second with 2 points, and Gridwing in third. And, of course, Warren Davis, honorary first place.
Where do you get all these clips? These little
Mark
samples?
curates them every week. It's a fun.
So there is an AI that will remove the vocal from the song and create an isolated track, and it's gotten even crazier lately. Now it will, if you want to isolate one of the instruments, like the bass guitar or the lead guitar or the drums, it'll do that and remove everything else.
Yep.
I'm like,
wow. And
yeah.
You have to buy this software?
No, well, it'll do the first 30 seconds for free, which is why a lot of these are at the beginning of the song.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called La La La.
Yeah,
La
it's crazy.
La.ai.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, it's very interesting.
And it's good for not getting, a copyright
I
strike.
want a girl with a mind like a diamond. I want a girl who knows what's best. I want a girl with shoes that cut and eyes that burn like cigarettes.
I just ripped that one today.
That's insane.
That's Cake. Short skirts, long jacket. I love that song. Anyway,
Nice.
It's crazy. Is it all this AI stuff is literally going to take over the world. I just know it. All right. So, we have a proper intro for you now.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what we do. We do everything proper around
Mostly.
here. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Wait, what happened to all my samples are gone? This is terrible. Somebody deleted all my stuff. All right, here we go.
AI deleted them.
I'd just like to welcome Warren Davis officially to the show. We're honored to have you back. This is your third time back on the show.
Is that right?
Third time.
Do I get one of those jackets that says the 3 timers on it?
Oh yeah, it's just like SNL.
It's more like a senior jacket where your arms are going to be made out of plastic, but and it takes 6 months to show up, but
I'll take it.
All right, so we obviously had you on the show before. We've talked about Qbert. Qbert is obviously one of your claims to fame, and you wrote a book about it.
I wrote a book about pretty much everything I did.
Yeah, so why don't you just,
yeah.
for the listeners that are new to your story, why don't you just give them a little background on this book and you, and then we'll get into some different questions.
Okay. Well, the book covers about 14 years of my life and career. I started at Gottlieb in 1982, and Qbert was my first game. First game that I was responsible for, let's put it that way. But after that, I did a lot of stuff in the arcade world for the the next. Cubert took maybe a year and a half, and so the next 12 and a half years, I did other stuff.
Right.
Anyway, I wrote about it in the book, but it covers the following game I did for Gottlieb, which was Us versus Them. It covers moving to Williams and working on Joust 2, starting to work on digitizing, creating a digitizing system for, video actors, live actors to be used in games. I left Williams for a time, went to Premier Technologies, and made a game called Exterminator. That's a story in itself. Came back to Williams, continued to evolve the digitizing software. It got used in Mortal Kombat, Terminator 2, Revolution X. It was used in many, many games. All of the games that used digitizing used my system, the games at Williams Valley Midway. So that's a lot of stuff to cover in the book, and that's what it's about.
Nice.
People think there's a sequel coming. Because I left the arcade industry in 1996, went to the home industry. I worked for Disney Interactive and a bunch of other places, but I do not at the moment have any plans to write that second book covering the next 10 years. Although there are stories, trust me, there are stories there.
So I have a question for you. You talked about Disney Interactive. What did you do there?
Well, I actually was in a tools group. It was interesting. I was hired because they were planning to make an internal development group where they would develop games internally, and I was hired for that. But there was a number of months between the time I was hired and the time I actually started, because I actually was living in Chicago. I had to pack up. I had to sell my house, pack up my family, and all my belongings come out. So there was about, I want to say, eight months, I think, between being hired and arriving. And when I arrived, I found that they had scrapped the idea to have a internal development group. So I was in a tools group. So I wrote, tools to help producers develop game concepts. I wrote art tools to help, compress art and, be more efficient and things like that.
I mean, one of the cool things that you innovated with Cubert was the whole isometric 3D thing. I think your brain was wired that way to solve problems.
Well, it just honestly, it didn't seem that outrageous. Zaxxon predates Cubert, and Zaxxon has that perspective look.
Sure.
I was always aware of the cube illusion that you could make a 2D thing look 3D. So, but yeah, to me, it was just an exciting kind of a goal. Is like, let me see if I can.
That's interesting because
physics with the limited resources I have, and they were limited. Trust me.
To me, Zaxxon is a boat anchor, and Cubert is a game. Because Zaxxon sucks to play. And so does Return of the Jedi, both isometric 3D games. But the cool thing about Cubert is turning the joystick on its axis a little bit and making it feel like you're going in the correct direction. Did you have any involvement in that part of the mechanics of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I was programming it, and so that's, this is the idea that this is controversial always amuses me, because from my point of view, there was no controversy. He's moving down and to the right, down and to the left, up and to the right, up and to the left. That's the way your joystick should move. There's literally, it is a no-brainer.
Exactly.
I've never understood that controversy, but yes, the other people seem to have, my light just almost fell over. Other people seem to have trouble, grasping it. I honestly don't know.
Grasping. So I always felt when I was a kid and I first approached that game that it felt correct. The cool thing about video games in the 80s was all of the disparate controls, right? So Star Wars had a yoke. Marble Madness had, and Missile Command used trackballs, football, whatever, a bunch of different games. and you have all these. In Moon Patrol, you could only go left and right and jump, right? Stargate and Defender. Roger Sharp was on the show last week. I know you're a fan and you guys are good friends, but he said Eugene Jarvis came to him with this new control scheme for Defender, and he's like, "Are you kidding? I have like 2 hands and they're good for flippers. What is this thing with all these buttons on it?" Right? So Defender, totally crazy. But the point in Robotron, 2 joysticks, one for moving, one for firing, and then Qbert. Also, it's unique. It's part of the amusement. It's part of the experience. And as a young kid playing Qbert, I felt like I could intuitively play the game based on how the joystick was laid out. So I think you guys did the right thing, and that's a personal. Mark, what do you think?
I agree. I'm a little obsessed about. I've been trying to watch All I Need Is Your Signature, and it's been really difficult finding it. I know that you take a stab at acting occasionally.
Yeah. Well, I have been ever since. I started acting in college, so yeah, it's been a long time.
Junior high.
But that particular film, I don't believe is available anywhere streaming because it's making the festival circuit right now.
Oh.
So, you'd have to go to a festival where it's showing. I assume at some point the director will make it available online, but right now I don't think it's actually available anywhere.
And when was it made?
Can you tell us a little about it? I mean, I know that it's a short film, so don't give away the.
No, I won't give too much away. It's a short film. The director's a buddy of mine, and he wrote the script and he sent it to me and said, "Hey, you interested in doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." So it was myself, him, obviously directing, and then there's an actress in it who's just absolutely wonderful. And we shot it in. I think I shot my part in a day.
Right.
So and then he did all the hard work. He put it together. He did all the editing and music and all the other stuff. But yeah. I'm the secondary character, I'd say. The actress is the lead, but it's amusing. It's really interesting to me because we think of it as sort of a comedy, a kind of maybe a black comedy, a dark comedy. It's gotten into a couple of horror festivals.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm so intrigued by it.
Not a horror movie in any way, Yeah, I'll be very honest. I'm not sure how, I was so close to the making of it. I don't know how it reads to people. I don't know how people feel after viewing it. If they're, I don't know.
I have a question about that. So you're very close to the film. You're friend of the director. Are you, in this particular instance, are you offering directorial advice? Are you having an input on how things are being filmed?
No, generally no. I respect the chain of command in filmmaking, which is, the director is the boss. If I had an idea, I might share the idea as an offering, but
sure.
It's, I would never expect that,
collaborative effort.
Yeah, of course. And again, if all I was doing was telling him how to shoot this movie, that, nobody'd be asking me to be in their film.
Right. You're like,
you got to respect that, And the other thing is, even though my take on the material might be one way, he's the director.
Yeah.
So I respect his take on it, and I'm excited that he's going to put his spin on it. I'm there just to sort of make the character come alive, and I'm going to let him do all the rest.
Okay, I have 2 questions. One is based on this conversation right now. The first is, you're getting a job as an actor. Do they know that you did Qbert?
I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't usually come up in conversation before I get the part, although I will say we live in a world where,
people can Google you.
Yeah. People can go Google, find out about me. And I'd say, I think I kind of go into every situation assuming that someone has Googled me, and that even if they don't want to bring it up or talk about it, they must know. But I don't bring it up unless it comes up naturally in conversation.
And that makes perfect sense to me too. one of the things I think I like about Arcade Radio is that we approach everything. We approach every guest as if they're just a regular person. We don't try to deify anybody,
except Nolan Bushnell, but whatever. So
yeah, let's not talk about that episode. But so like I enjoy talking to everybody. Like they're just regular people. You did something extraordinary from our perspective as far as like here's this game that became iconic, and I love that you're so open about talking about it. But the cool part about talking to you is not necessarily your achievement. That's a catalyst for this conversation, but for me, it's understanding like what makes you tick, what kind of person you are. What is the interesting thing about Warren Davis that made him make that game? So I really appreciate you coming here and sharing those details with us. And this actor thing resonates with me because when I was a kid, I got into community theater when I was in junior high. And so I did theater throughout high school. My first paying job, I was an actor. I got paid $70 a week to dress up like an Indian and like American Indian and full body paint. I had to shave my legs. I had to wear a wig.
You did not get paid enough.
Yes. No, but it was a really great experience and I had a great time doing it. And so I love hearing that you love to do this stuff. And I'm always curious about the process, and I think any engineering mind is. So, again, thanks for sharing that with you. So now, Mark, you had another question? Did I
have another question?
Yeah, well, put him on the spot there.
Right. I know. I keep going through all the shorts. It's just, oh man, is there any big movies that you've taken a shot at recently? I know that you may not have got them, but
honestly, I've not been in a lot of feature films. Although, if you really want to, I recommend this film that came out in, I think it was like 2008, called "Yesterday Was a Lie." That's a feature film, kind of a cult film, indie film, but it has Chase Masterson from Star Trek. Space Nine is in it.
Yes.
John Newton from Superboy, the old Superboy series from the 1980s.
Yeah.
He's in it. Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca, is in it.
I love it. I want to see this now.
It's in glorious black and white, intentionally.
What's it called?
It's called "Yesterday Was a Lie," and that is definitely available on DVD. I don't know if it's streaming, but it's definitely on DVD, Blu-ray, and I'm in that movie in a supporting role. Also directed by a friend of mine.
Sweet. Who's the director?
James Kerwin.
James Kerwin. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's also, actually, you might know him if you're familiar with a sort of a, I guess you'd call it a TV series, but it's not on TV, a web series, called Star Trek Continues.
Oh, I've seen that. It's fantastic.
Yes, amazing. Yeah. That's just, what?
James was one of the sort of like, creative, very cool, very nice, yeah. But James is one of the creatives behind Star Trek Continues, writing and directing a number of episodes. Also, by the way, Star Trek Continues connection, Yesterday Was a Lie. The lead actress is Kipley Brown, who played an ensign at the helm on Star Trek Continues.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
It's all tied together.
Yes, Captain. Enterprise. Spock here.
Wait a minute. Whose voice was doing Spock?
Yeah.
That was Leonard Nimoy.
Was it?
Yeah. It's digitized into this little thing. But yeah.
Enterprise. Spock here. Enterprise.
That sure doesn't sound like Leonard Nimoy to me.
Sure that wasn't his son? You know how like Tom Hanks' brother does his voice for all the toys?
If we're going to go on Star Trek tangents, Adam Nimoy directed, I think, multiple things, including a couple episodes of the new Outer Limits that came out. But he also was thanked for his involvement with the early Information Society album, self-titled album that include such hits as Pure Energy and they had Running, and they had like 3 hits on that album. But yeah, I mean, the Nimoy family, you gotta love them, So.
Well, anyway, go watch Yesterday Was a Lie. Tell me what you think.
I put it in the chat. Everybody's gonna look at it because
yeah.
Looks...
I mean, I've probably done other short films. Mostly, I've done short films lately. A few TV episodes in the last couple of decades, but I'm not. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not as dedicated to an acting career as many full-time actors. I love doing it, but
so,
something to do when
I
I
mean,
can.
by now you've got to be close to 40, So,
on which side?
Which planet?
I gotta say, Warren, you look fantastic.
Yes,
like fine wine. Better to look good than to feel good.
Yeah.
As they,
oh, you look and feel good. You know it.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Thankfully, God willing.
Yeah, and you have a great family. You've talked about them on the show before. I love that you keep yourself in good shape. You also had good advice for us all to do the same as we move through life. But I want to ask you a question about projects that you don't talk about very often. So let's try to think about something that you worked on after Qbert, before your acting, somewhere in between, that you were very proud of, that didn't really see the light of day. Did you ever have that happen?
Well, I mean, I talk about Us Versus Them a lot. I'm very proud of Us Versus Them. It did see the light of day.
Sure.
It just came out amidst a big, kerfuffle about LaserDisc games in general, and so it didn't get the wide release that I was hoping for. That was a disappointment. But if you want to talk about games that I don't talk about a lot, that I was involved in, but I'm not particularly proud of.
Let's try that.
That would have to be Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
Oh.
That's a game that came out in like 2002, I want to say.
PlayStation?
And that's a game that has a really, really sordid and interesting story that I'm not comfortable talking about because I don't like making anybody look bad. And
okay.
It's hard to tell the story without making like somebody look bad.
We'll have to fictionalize it and make it a movie.
I can appreciate that. So can you tell, leaving names out, what frustrated you about, so is that a PlayStation 1 game? Tell us what platform
it was. I believe it was PS2 and GameCube, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
I love the GameCube. So, but anyway,
it was the first Spyro game that was not made by Insomniac. They did the first 3.
Sure.
And then I guess they sold the rights to the character to what at that time was NBC Universal.
Okay.
And
it's the chat. First of all,
hard to get into it all.
The chatters are saying just change the names. They want to hear the story. So call him Bob Fastidious.
It's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as that.
Too bad.
My shame about. I mean, that game did get released.
Sure.
And didn't. It wasn't what I don't think it was what anybody envisioned it should have been, but it was one of those things where it's like they just wanted to release something because it would be a horrible failure to release nothing. And my role,
sense.
I mean, I was a sort of a senior programmer, but my real role, that's the interesting part of the story in some weird way, is that the game probably would not have been released if I didn't force the management of the 2 companies that were working on it. There was company of programmers and a company of artists working together. But the manager, the people running each of those companies, there grew such
Animosity.
distrust between them that they wouldn't talk to each other. And the game, like I came into the office one day and the reception said, "Go home. It's over. It's over." They're not talking to each other. And rather than go home, I brought everybody into the conference room and we didn't leave until we at least agreed that we could.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
That's how I operate. Like, I would be like, okay, let's get together and talk about this. So that's really cool. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know that I'm proud of that or ashamed of doing that, because
I think
maybe
you
it
could
would
be
have been
both.
better for the world if that game just had never come out.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so when you're making this game you hate, and you're thinking back to the days of Gottlieb, what do you think? Because you must have been like, everyone's been like, oh God, I just was doing what I used to do. 'Cause sometimes you think of that, right?
At that point, well, first of all, I didn't hate the game. I mean, I wanted it. I was trying to make it the best game we thought it could be, given the time constraints and the money constraints and the pressures.
And
that
who
were
doesn't
upon
love
it.
a cute purple dragon?
Long story there. There's just so many things, so much stuff happened. Anyway, but I didn't hate the game. I liked the game. I wanted it to be good, but and I sort of bought into this idea that we just have to release something.
Sure.
Make it the best game we can make and release it, as opposed to just pulling the plug. But
Fair
maybe I
enough.
was wrong there. I don't know.
No, that's the right approach. Is that the end of your story? Because now I don't even know what to say.
That's good. Let's move on to something else.
Yes.
Okay, I love that. So you just talked about the most painful part of your career. Now tell me is there, besides Q*bert, is there like a high point? And it doesn't have to be video games. Tell me the best feeling you ever had in your career as a person, whether it's acting or whatever. Tell us.
Becoming a father. It's hard to top that.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So I got to do that twice.
Yeah.
I think I'd say my kids are.
Okay,
huge
so
high
that's
point.
the total winning answer. Now, what's the second best?
Well, I mean, I liked working on I had so many highs in my career. I mean, I enjoyed. I was very lucky that I got to do something I just loved doing. So just developing digitized graphics, that was a goal of mine. As soon as I knew that there was technology that existed that would make that possible, and to be able to develop that and have it continue throughout the 90s, used on all these hit games, that was very rewarding. Terminator 2, I got to work on Terminator 2 and contribute to that game.
So we got to talk about Terminator 2.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, have you played with? I asked this earlier. Have you played with Chat GPT? You said no, not yet.
No.
So after the show, you're gonna do that, right? You're gonna say,
"We'll give you the link."
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to try it out. And then the next time we have on the show, I want you to talk about Skynet, because it's real, man. It's real. So your favorite part about working on Terminator, what was that?
Just sort of having access to all of these cool graphics from the movie, seeing all the digitizing all of these actual sets from the movie, and video of Robert Patrick. We had Robert Patrick and videoed him. His appearance in the movie was stuff that was shot, or in the game rather, was stuff that was shot for the game. And Eddie Furlong as well. We had Linda Hamilton's stunt double, and we had Arnold's stunt double in an Arnold mask. Now, these guys were all in California. I didn't meet them.
Yeah.
I just got the video back, and so we digitized that stuff. But seeing that before the movie came out, I was a huge fan of the first movie.
Me too. Me too. I love Terminator.
James Cameron. Holy, So, and then Aerosmith. We almost forgot about Aerosmith. We had Aerosmith in our studios for 3 days.
Crazy.
Shooting them right and left and putting them in a Revolution X. Surreal.
Now, okay, so you're a fan of Terminator. First of all, the words groundbreaking are overused, but Terminator was exactly that. It was a film, low budget, James Cameron, everything came out of his brain. He storyboarded everything. He did everything himself. And then he gets some producers to film this movie on a shoestring budget and gets Arnold Schwarzenegger involved. So this crazy thing happens and a blockbuster is born. Terminator 2 comes out. You're involved with that. So you never actually got to meet Arnold, but that's just that's a really cool project to have worked on.
It was cool. It was fun. By the way, the spiritual ancestor of the original Terminator is Westworld.
Oh.
Oh. You ever think about that? Yul Brynner's gunslinger is like the Terminator.
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, I kind of get the Westworld and the $6 Million Man. I feel like those two sort of, I can't tell which one played off each other. Obviously, Crichton's book, I think, came in first, but Cyborg as well. But I don't know. Which one did you prefer? Did you prefer the Westworld? How did you feel about $6 Million Man?
I watched $6 Million Man. It didn't feel like groundbreaking, really.
No.
It was just,
Just some guy.
I thought Westworld was, Westworld. Even I think it holds up. I think it still holds up. It's a terrifying movie.
Are we talking about Yul Brynner?
Well, we're talking about the original Westworld film.
Yul Brynner is awesome in that film.
Yeah. Richard Benjamin, James Brolin.
Is that his last film, Yul Brynner? Might be.
No, I think Yul Brynner did a few other things.
That guy was awesome. Like, he got lung cancer, and he's like, fuck this. Nobody else is getting lung cancer. Everybody listen to me. Don't smoke cigarettes, you assholes. And then he, like, exited the planet. That was fucking brilliant.
Wow.
I mean, sorry about using the language, but that guy was awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I love the original Westworld. I like the first couple seasons. First season of Westworld that they did on HBO.
TV show, yeah, that was a
pretty.
That
neat.
was a trip and a half.
Second season kind of lost me. Third season I was like, okay, whatever. But I really liked what they did with the first season, and I think you know. But anyway, that's an aside. So yeah, fantastic. You get to work on this property called Terminator, and so now like. Let me ask you a question. So prior to you working on all this video game stuff, what inspired you to get into the acting side of things?
Well, I was in college in the 70s and I was getting my computer systems engineering degree. Mm-hmm. And I had a friend who was heavily into the players, the RPI players. I went to RPI. And we didn't have a theater major because it was a technical school, engineering school. But my friend, they had a club. And they usually had fantastic sets because the sets would be designed by the architecture students.
It's a bunch of nerds.
They were fantastic.
I love it.
But they had a playhouse. They had a theater. It had been around for many years. And they had a group. And my friend was just heavily into the acting thing for fun. I was not at all. But he took me to an audition. And just as, for grins, I auditioned and I got cast. So I ended up doing this play. I have no real acting training whatsoever. And I had a blast. That's blast. Cool. And to be honest, when you come out at the end of a play and take a bow and everyone is applauding you, that is like heroin, man. That is a drug.
It is really cool.
And I just was like, I was hooked. And so what I would do at that point is I would just do plays whenever I could, community theater mostly. I mean, I wasn't a professional actor, but in Chicago, when I moved to Chicago and I started working at Gottlieb, I also started taking not an acting class, but an improv class.
Yeah.
at Second City because I thought, I don't know that I want to be an actor, but improv, I could do that.
Second City in Chicago?
Make stuff up. Huh?
Second City in Chicago?
Yes, Chicago.
Okay. By the way, just a background for our viewers, SCTV, Second City, I believe originates in Canada.
Toronto, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where like Andrea Martin and John Candy and Eugene Levy and Joe Flaherty.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah,
so many.
All those actors came from. And Catherine O'Hara is freaking brilliant. I love her so much in Schitt's Creek. But yeah, like that's, you must have known, like, you're like, this is special.
Well, the Chicago version of Second City boasted people like George Wendt, Tim Kazurinsky, Mary Gross, Shelley Long, Bill Murray, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of people coming out of there. Later on, Chris Farley, Stephen Colbert, Steve Carell. So a lot of people. Oh, and then of course Jon Favreau. He was never on the main stage, but we did a play together.
That's
Me and Jon
awesome.
Favreau did.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. Hey, by the way, just real briefly, Jon Favreau, of course, Mandalorian, Iron Man. I mean, he's so involved with the event, MCU. Really, really awesome guy. And of course, he cut his teeth with, Swingers. And, he gave Vince Vaughn a career, literally. So, like, I love that you're connected with all that. It's fantastic.
He's made something of himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an upright citizen.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually got to party with Favreau at the Mark Wahlberg Rockstar premiere.
Wow.
I run Mark Wahlberg's social media. So I was like, hey, can I go to this thing? And he's like, heck yes. We'll put you in the room with all the weird people. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, Gene Simmons is in there. And I'm like, God, Brad Pitt. No normal people. And so immediately, like, overwhelmed. But
I love it so much.
Favreau hung out. He was awesome.
Well, next time you see him, tell him I say hi.
I will, yeah. Warren's like, when's my next, like, let's hook up,
Oh, by the way,
tell him I'm very proud of him.
That is, I will do that.
One of the chatters, Otherworldly Culture, says, "Hey, don't forget Martin Short was on SCTV," and that's
of course, yes.
So many actors got their cut their, I mean,
teeth?
Cut their teeth on that program. It's so fantastic, and I love Martin Short and Steve Martin, what they're doing right now with Only Murderers, and it's so great. So you must be very proud of that interaction with SCTV or Second City,
Yeah, I mean, I was just happy to be there. I was happy to learn what I learned. I was happy to meet the people I met. Mm-hmm. So I was with an improv / sketch comedy group, and there was a time where we were performing at this bar on Lincoln Avenue, and it was a bunch of different acts, I guess, and the guy who was on stage before us was a 17-year-old, I believe he was 17 years old at the time, named Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He did so much stuff.
So, it's just like, just being in Chicago at that time, early 80s, the improv scene, I crossed paths with, people who were nobody then and have made something of themselves. Meanwhile, I went in a different direction.
Yeah. Well.
So what do you have going on? Like, are there any things that you're pursuing, or are you in the midst of any gigs?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. I do a lot of different things now. I do some consulting, software consulting for Sony. So I've got that. I've got 2 play readings lined up in the next couple of months. I'm shooting a sort of a Mach TV series over at USC for the next couple of months, and
wow,
I just got it's just like things as they pop up. Love to get back to the theater. I'm also preparing a talk. Last year I gave a talk at the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco. It was a post-mortem on Qbert, This year, I'm doing a talk about LaserDisc games, and specifically Us versus Them, and sort of how they rose and how they crashed and burned very quickly.
Okay, let's talk about LaserDisc games because you brought it up a couple times. Us versus Them, great. There's a myriad of games out there right now, and there's a couple of emulators which are great, like Dexter. We actually showed on the show before you came on.
We did some unboxing.
We did some unboxing of
and the
games.
interesting thing about that Dragon's Lair is that it actually contains the Dexter logic.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is they just released this thing.
I got the original.
Yeah, me too.
Is this one better? Did they improve it?
I feel like it's got some more other ports on the back.
The new one has, if you haven't ordered it, the new one has a better CPU, so you can actually do mirroring, so you can play on your TV, or you can put a little tiny monitor on top and then have it play on the game as well. It still has the same 2 inputs for game controllers. It has a different LaserDisc player inside. We just discovered on the show tonight. And the TFT is an upgraded LCD, so it's a much better, higher resolution. But it doesn't really matter. If you're having fun with the one you have, just keep it.
That's what I always say. Yeah, it's not about the technical aspect. It's the amount of fun you have.
It's about the gameplay, right? So
I'm actually planning on. I have an adapter to where I'm going to play the New Wave game through the NTSC adapter and into the regular arcade monitor on my Dragon's Lair, which is completely unnecessary, but it needs to be done at least one time.
Now, so my question was going to be to you, based on actually this is a great segue because LaserDisc games. Can you name like the top 3 for you and like the worst 3?
LaserDisc games?
Yeah.
Well, Mach 3 was one of the huge. I mean, Dragon's Lair, of course. I'm not a huge fan of Dragon's Lair. The only reason, I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn, my little light keeps falling. But the thing about Dragon's Lair is, the fact that it. Is it going to fall? I'm sorry.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
It keeps threatening to fall.
Take care of it. We're
better?
good.
I think that's better.
We'll fix it in post.
So no, it's going. It's like slowly falling backwards. All right, hang on a minute.
All of my lamps are pasted.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Anyway, Dragon's Lair. The idea is like you're watching a movie and you have to push the stick in a certain direction at a certain point, or you die.
Right.
That does't appeal to me.
Neither does
I did like Mach 3. I thought Mach 3 was fun.
Yep.
I don't remember it that well, but I remember playing Firefox.
Yes.
And I remember thinking Firefox just looked phenomenal.
I was actually going to ask. I was actually predicting that might be one of your choices, based on Mach 3. Mach 3 is great. It's like Afterburner with cool pictures.
Yeah.
So, worst LaserDisc games of all time.
The worst?
Like Cliffhanger.
Or at least your bottom 3.
I honestly didn't play very many LaserDisc games. No. I just didn't.
Nobody did.
We played Mach 3 a lot at the office because it was there.
Yeah.
I played Dragon's Lair because it was there. It was the first one out, and everybody had that. But I think because I wasn't so thrilled with Dragon's Lair, I certainly didn't play any of the other games that had that same technique. Where it was basically an animated movie where you just had to time your stick moves.
Yeah.
I much would have preferred things like Astron Belt.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I ever saw an Astron Belt.
Me neither, except for on Starcade.
Yeah.
Now, Astron Belt, for those who don't know, actually rips off a bunch of sci-fi. It actually takes footage from Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, and other properties, and they got sued. But it was an interesting game. Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, Astron Belt, Cliffhanger, Dragon's Lair 2, Cobra Command, Mach 3, Road Blaster, Bega's Battle, Digital Leisure Thayer's Quest, I remember that. Don Quixote, Mad Dog McCrae, Space Pirates.
Which came much later, I believe.
Yeah. I think some of these are CD games as they moved into that technology.
No Time Traveler?
Are you going alphabetical?
No. Time Traveler, well, maybe I am. No, I am
Time
not.
Traveler was, definitely a unique kind of a piece. Really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it had, legs for gameplay, but it looked like nothing else you'd ever seen.
Yeah.
But then there's also a Star Rider from Williams. Williams' entry into the LaserDisc market was Star Rider, which actually did some innovative stuff, trying to zoom the screen and let you sort of pan in a zoomed screen. Still didn't collect. That's the thing. That ultimately video. Any video arcade game is about collecting quarters, and it didn't do that. Us versus Them came out at the tail end of the craze, and it tested phenomenally. I mean, it was number one in the arcades where it was testing, but then they started producing them, and that was when they were realizing that these LaserDisc players just were not ready for prime time. They would skip, they would jam, they would had all sorts of problems. People, the operators were giving money back to people, and that escalated, and that was the end of the LaserDisc craze.
And we talked about Us versus Them on, I think, our first interview with you, because I remember you talking about there was like a whole sequence of like interior shot with these actors, and weren't you involved with that as well?
Yeah, I was there for the whole thing. I mean, the script was written by myself and Dennis Nordman, with input from a couple of other people, and but when we were actually on the set, and a couple of the actors, like the guy who played the commander in the control room was actually a buddy of mine from acting class. I was taking an acting class, and he was like the perfect leading man. And then some of the other people I knew, the people in very like small bit parts, might have been other friends of mine or people from acting class. But in that command, center where the control room, basically, the guy we had hired to shoot that, he doesn't know from drama or B-movie or science fiction. So, I kept on insinuating little things like, okay, that was good, but can we lower the camera? Can we get a more dramatic angle? I mean, I was a filmmaker as a teenager. I used to make films in high school. So it's not like I didn't have ideas. I knew what I kind of wanted.
Sure.
And I also edited the entire game. I edited all of the video footage myself. So I basically had ideas about how I wanted it shot. Anyway, after a while, he just said, just you tell me what you want, I'll do it.
Nice. Now, what was the footage where the gameplay and the overlay of the gameplay, like where you're flying through forests and flying over mountains, was that stock or did you have that custom shot?
No, everything was shot for the game. There was nothing stock in that entire game. I was up in the Learjet flying over California, Utah, and Arizona.
That is cool.
A good portion of the shots that we had. What we did is we brought these producers up with us, and we showed them kind of what we needed, how long they had to fly, straight line, what angles we wanted. And then they went off and shot footage elsewhere around the country and sent it back to us. And then as far as the forest, where you're actually flying through trees.
Right. It looks like somebody's running. Is it me or what?
I was there. That was a guy on a Steadicam, holding a Steadicam. It was pretty much the only the Steadicam was brand new in 1983. Sure. And this was like the only guy in Chicago who was rated to use a Steadicam. And so I've got copious pictures of all of this. I took photographs. So when I do talks about Us versus Them, I have all these behind the scenes shots. And yeah, he was just running through the forest. And of course, later I had to do the editing because the idea, I would tell him, you're going to run through here and then you're going to zoom into one particular tree, but put it on the left side of the frame. And
Oh.
then this one put in the center of the frame. This one put on the right side of the frame.
Ah.
That's cool.
I knew how the game was going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
cool. And then we flew a helicopter through downtown Chicago.
Oh my, that would have been so cool.
It was crazy, and it was also 26 degrees below zero with the wind chill.
Are you kidding me?
So it was freezing. That was not fun. And this Steadicam guy was hanging out of the open door of the side of the helicopter to shoot, the side scrolling footage.
Oh my God.
Nutty. It was nutty. That guy, I mean, I admire that guy. That guy was amazing. I was like in awe of this guy.
Oh, and you're like, thank God he was willing to do that.
He was fearless. He was absolutely fearless. Yeah.
Okay, a couple of side questions just to get to know Warren. First of all, you lived in Chicago for a long time. You live in what, LA now?
Yes.
So, your favorite moment doesn't have to be video game related. Your favorite moment living in Chicago and your favorite moment living in LA.
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
Wow,
interesting.
That's a tough one. There's a lot of moments. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. Like what comes to mind? Like a favorite memory of Chicago. It doesn't have to be related to arcades at all.
Jeez, I can't even think of mine.
I mean, no, it's like there's too many. It's like to try to narrow it down. I mean, I used to do, as an actor, I used to do murder mystery parties in Chicago, and we did some on boats in the lake, in Lake Michigan. And that was just kind of a trippy to be out on the lake looking back at Chicago in the evening with the city all lit up, and you're just seeing the skyline from a different point of view.
I love it.
Just beautiful. I mean, Chicago's a beautiful city.
It is.
And that it was particularly beautiful. I mean, in LA, I have many memories because I'm a member at the Magic Castle in LA.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
And that's a place that I'm just in awe of. I'm in awe of watching magicians perform there. But I do that a lot. It's not, so it's like, I can't say that it wasn't like a special thing, but it's special to me every time I go. It's just amazing.
Now, I'll be out in LA in September. We're gonna go to Hawaii. We're gonna spend a couple days in LA, but we love the Griffith Observatory.
Oh.
And so a couple times we've gone there, and it's really cool because it's very historic. But like having been in LA, I've got friends that work there as well. Besides yourself, I've got a friend who is in SFX and VFX, and then I've got a friend who does casting. And maybe we should talk offline. You could meet them.
And I'm happy to take you guys to the Magic Castle.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I've been there. I love it. I forget. Somebody from Back to the Future invited us in 2015.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was either Michael Klestorin or somebody. I don't remember exactly.
Anyway.
Oh, well, I mean, the only thing is you have to dress up.
Yes. You can't
You gotta bring a suit.
No jeans.
I love it.
No sneakers, no jeans, no t-shirts. You got a suit and tie. Nice shoes.
In the last 12 weeks, I've lost 31 pounds. So,
wow.
By the time I get to going on my trip, I plan to be down close to 80 to 100 pounds.
Oh my God.
So then you'll buy the suit.
So
What's
now
gonna be left?
I will buy a new suit.
How are you doing this, sir? This is amazing.
I will look like $1 million.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's great. So.
Please keep me posted on your arrival.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will. Because Christine's always asked me, like, people in LA, we should get together. So we should have dinner,
Yeah.
It'd be so
Magic Castle, fantastic restaurant inside of it.
Oh, really?
The food is amazing.
Thinking of not amazing food, have you ever been to the Billy Goat Tavern and Grill in Chicago?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I know that's like a staple everybody has to do.
I'm also a White Castle fan.
Oh, yes, we know that.
That is my go-to when I go to Chicago. I got to stop in at White Castle.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That place makes my kidneys stop.
They have them in the Midwest, but I didn't get to partake. I did go in Louisville. That's where my family's from. And it took 2 hours to go through the drive-thru.
It's the oldie burger with flavor holes.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, I think of the entire. It's just like I don't think of the individual parts. I think of it as a whole. I love it. I take a bite out of it, and there's no other taste like it. It's a very unique taste.
Very true.
Yeah, but they do have, by the way, if you do go to a White Castle, they have a thing called the 1921 burger, and that is a recreation of the burger they sold when they opened in 1921, and it is much more like a traditional burger.
Sweet.
So if you don't like White Castles, you might like a 1921 burger. It's very tasty, but I will say it's still 2 inches by 2 inches because that's their thing.
Right.
But I will caution you against the chicken rings, because which part of the chicken is a ring?
Well, they could just cut it in.
Got married.
Right. Oh. All right.
Well,
that's a good closer.
They kill all those chickens for food. What do you think they do with their wedding rings?
Yeah.
They repurpose them.
Exactly.
They cut around them.
Okay, so Warren, first of all, I want to say it's been an honor having you on the show again.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
And I hope we talked about some things you haven't talked about before.
Yes, we did.
So
you squeezed it out of me.
All right, so here's the deal. Mark and I like to say goodbye to our guest after we do our outro, so stick with us. Even if we say we hung up, stick with us.
You got it.
And we're gonna do our little thing here. Mark, are you ready to go?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay. So we have this little sort of
a shtick.
It's a thing.
It's how we say goodbye.
We say adieu to you and you and you. Have you ever heard sort of a play called Sound of Music? But you know
what? No, I've never.
I don't know. All right, we got a new outro song.
That's what we're.
It's called play. With Benny's. Here we go. So that's it. Thanks for listening in to the Double R's. That's been Arcade Radio.
Hey, check out our website, RcadeRadio.com. That's RCADE radio.com for all of our social media and swag links.
Or just like Mr. Bob Zarzadek, you could leave us a call on the game line, which is 612-548-GAME. That's 4263 for those people that don't know how to hit the numbers correctly.
Are you enjoying the show? You should pick up Arcade Radio swag over at arcaderadio.creator-spring.com.
Yeah.
Or consider supporting our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/arcaderadio. Multiple tiers. Let's go.
Subscribe to our Twitch channel. All you got to do is hit follow. You don't even have to subscribe, actually. Just hit follow. You'll know when we're streaming.
If you like what you're hearing, consider dropping a 5-star review on Anchor, who apparently we're going to ditch soon. iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you consume our podcast.
And that's going to be it for tonight's show. We'll see you in a couple of weeks on our next podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Arcade Radio, and we hope you had a great night. You guys hear something?
Hello?
That's weird.